let's talk about another piece of deconstruction that I've been thinking through in my recovery time. So when I went in for my consultation for this particular procedure, one of the things that my surgeon and I were talking about was the recovery time. And he knew that I was a small business owner who operates two small businesses. And it was so interesting. He was like, "Oh yeah, well, we booked it for Thursday." He was like, "You'll be back to work by Monday." First of all, I don't work on Mondays. I take long weekends. That's really important to me. Number two, I was like, "Wow, so okay, if I get my procedure done on Thursday, I'll be ready to go and fully recovered by Monday. That's great." And he was like, "Oh, you won't be fully recovered by Monday, but you'll be recovered enough to be able to go back to work." And so I'm sitting here reflecting on that currently because I was like, yeah, no, if it's going to take me X amount of days to recover, I'm taking X amount of days off. Like, I'm not pushing my body past its breaking point. And that is actually so much growth for me because the last time I got a procedure done, this was in 2019, end of 2019, right before COVID hit. And it was a far more intense procedure than what I have had done this go around. And I was racing back to work. I was antsy. I could not sit still. My body literally did not know how to sit in the energetics of rest. And I was honestly freaking out about bills, my business. It was my I guess I was creeping into the second year of my first business. And I had so many control issues coming up, not being able to sit in rest mode. And this was the time frame too that I was working at a minimum 80-hour weeks, right? Like, I was in pedal to the metal. I was fully in my capitalist program. I was fully in that masculine frame. I said at that time in my life, like, I really did not have a strong feminine energetic, right? I did not know how to rest. I did not know how to nourish myself. I did not have any of those components in place. And so I raced back to work way too fast. And it was really unhealthy. And so it's been really interesting watching this go around with this substantially smaller procedure and really tuning into my body and really tuning into rest and not racing back to work. And also having the client support and the friendship support within that, right? I kind of talked in another video about asking to receive my needs to be met, right? And having my support team here at home being able to help me, right? But there was so much more to that in working with my clients, right? And at the time of that original procedure that I was talking about, that first procedure that I had done in 2019, one of the things that I was operating on was this really deep need to be needed and valued. And I had absolutely no boundaries on that, right? Like, I used to say, like, I was literally never able to take time off. I think it was 2020 or 2021 that, like, everything just kind of came crashing down on me because I had literally taken a grand total of 13 days off, and not 13 days consecutively. It was, I had taken 13 total days off the entire year that year. And my body just could not handle that. It's one of the reasons I'm so passionate that I do not believe in the 40-hour work week. I don't, especially for women. We are seeing an increase in autoimmune disease. We are seeing an increase in our cortisol levels being all freaking over the place, right? And don't get me wrong, I also do not believe in the 40-hour work week for our men either. But the 40-hour work week was built more around men's body and what they are able to sustain throughout a 24-hour cycle versus what women's are. And I don't think that 40 hours is sustainable or helpful for our men either, but absolutely not for women either. Certainly not in the way that our bodies and our menstrual cycles go, right? Like, my body and my work schedule changes from week to week, whether I am in my follicular phase, my luteal phase, if I'm actively bleeding, if I'm actively ovulating, right? Like, I build my work weeks around my menstrual cycle, right? That is one of the ways that I am able to nourish my feminine energy. And it's one of the ways that I am able to support when I do need to be in that masculine energy, because we have both, right? This is not like I'm a female, so all I have is feminine energy. That's not how that works, right? And so working with my clients this go around in a space where it was like, what am I supposed to do without you if you take time off, right? That was my past narrative, versus this go around, the clients that I have now needing to reschedule, needing to push things out, right? Going, hey, I may actually need a little bit more recovery time. Are you okay with that? And my clients going, oh my gosh, absolutely. Because I have those strong boundaries, because it's about me and what I need, so that in turn I can show up, right, as my highest and best self for my clients when I do return. And I've been a lot more strategic in the clients that I am willing to keep. There was a time frame after kind of everything crumbled, and it was like, there were a lot of people that when life kind of came crashing down around me and I couldn't show up for you in the ways that I was when I was breaking all of my boundaries and really pushing myself past my limit. As soon as I stopped doing that, it was like, what the heck? Like, how dare you, right? Versus the clients that I have chosen to keep that are so unbelievably meaningful to me, because it's such an in integrity relationship, right? I love these clients. There are several people that I'm like, you know what? I don't think that you're a great client for me. I don't think that you're the right fit for me. If you're going to ask me to go against my needs, if you're going to ask me to go against my boundaries, if you're going to ask me to race back from a recovery, because I'm still human, right? I don't need to run the story that I'm some superwoman, badass, boss bitch, CEO. I'm so past that in my life. I want sustainability. I want nourishment. I want thriving. Because in the time frame that I was working over 80-hour weeks, it was like I didn't have time for friends. I certainly didn't have time to pour into a partner. I didn't have time for any of my hobbies, right? I don't even think I had any hobbies, to be honest, right? Versus now I'm sitting with all sorts of things to keep me entertained, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting to catch up on things, right? And I'm going to stop anyone before it's like, well, you're recording a video about this stuff right now, right? Me taking 10 minutes to do a video is absolutely nothing. And part of that is being able to sit in that stillness. So much of that has flowed so naturally that it's very easy for me, right? This to me I'm not a content creator that makes, a ton of money doing videos and stuff like some of these other larger content creators. And that's no disrespect whatsoever, right? That's just, I'm not that big of a content creator. And so I've been able to sit and I've been able to reflect, and this has been really good for me and really healthy for me. And so it's all of the different ways that I've been able to deconstruct. And it was so funny how intertwined the patriarchy and capitalist program ran for me. And as I've deconstructed so much of that bullshit and really working with my feminine energy and sitting in that flow and deconstructing capitalism, it just feels really good sitting here being able to make this video, because I'm like, oh, I'm learning how to nourish myself. I'm learning how to take care of myself and receive support from the people in my life that care about me. And I have good people in my life, my family, my friends, my clients that are helping me implement all of these things in the present time. So I think that's some things that I wanted to share, and hopefully somebody gets to take a few pieces from it. So